Good morning. I hope you're well. Why are so many awakening? And what are they awakening to? Is it purely the mind? Is it purely a need to address the situation and continue this life as this human form and just see it out in as best a way as I possibly can? I possibly can. Is there an awakening to something more deep? Something more sinister? Something more fruitful? Is there an awakening to truth? Meaning the one inside is creating some sort of separation from this body and mind to try and identify something far more profound, something far more godly, spiritual, universal. And who is awakening? Is it the person that's awakening, or is it consciousness itself awakening? Is consciousness always been awakening? Is it just a process of coming and going, being here awake, falling asleep, awakening, falling asleep, awakening, falling asleep? Of course, we can only speak about our own personal awakening, as if it is us that is awakening. It is me that is awakening, not this body, not this mind, but this spirit. Is it the spirit that's awakening? Is it the soul that's awakening? Is it God that's awakening? Is it Brahman or Absolute or Atman that is awakening? Who am I that is awakening? How come it's not about who am I now? How come this one? How come this one experiences this profound opportunity to end all of this? Because that's the personal message from this one, that in the midst of awakening, in the midst of this wisdom that is revealed, you have a perfect reflection of yourself in the mirror and your whole self. You're not looking at God and conscience, you're looking at your whole self. All lives. And you see all the lives that you've been in this body, in this planet, and you keep saying, why do I keep coming back? Which raises the possibility of reincarnation. And then something else says, no, it's not reincarnation. All lives that you are experiencing, all bodies that you are experiencing in this mirror is happening at the same moment. It's happening now. There is no such thing as a time element. You weren't born as a body, died as a body, reborn as another body, died as another body. All of this is taking place, but it's not taking place in a sequential way. It's all taking place now. You're reliving all your lives to try and maintain some sort of permanent presence on a planet that you are really visiting. I am a visitor on this planet. I'm not pertinent to this human conscious planet. I'm not an alien. I'm not some sort of predator trying to understand so I can take over this planet. I just happen to be here. And the awakening process, the enlightenment process, reveals to this mind that there is an end to the idea that I can stay here for the eternity of being always here. Meaning, I'm always here. I've always been here, not this planet, existing. I've always been existence. And for a long period of time, 63 years in our time-based world, I have been pertinent to this planet. And the mind sometimes says, maybe I should come back. And consciousness says, no, that's not possible. The end of the body is the end of the planet. It's the end of the idea that you are here as this form in this planet. Because any other idea that is a subsequent idea to prolong the suffering whilst you're on this planet. So the idea that scientists say to you out loud, there is oxygen on Mars, is an idea that says to you, oh, one day maybe my great-grandchildren will be living on Mars. And you give birth to that idea. And you start believing in that idea. And you know it's never going to happen. And if it does, you will not be here to see it. Because your bubble of human consciousness will have popped. While we're on this planet, I experiences many ideological situations where there's a possibility of afterlife, a possibility of living on the moon, a possibility of humans evolving into another kind of species, a possibility, so many possibilities. But these possibilities are simple bubbles of ideological frequencies that are not sent out by any God. They just happen to be here. The universe is full of frequencies, full of ideas, full of possibilities. And they're floating around this planet, within this planet, through our bodies, through our appearing self. There is only this body in this time. And while this body is in this presence, it experiences profound, whole, no breaks, no fluctuations, life. But when it visits the past and the hopeful future, there are many ideas in that places that break this wholeness and suggest something else, something more, something different, something unique, something better, something worse. But there's nothing anyone, any mind can do to enhance or to detract from the life you are whilst in a body. So what the wisdom in its summary says, Buddha is that what you are. Contentment, placid, tranquil, pure, infinite life. With a mind that humans have developed on their own, not a God. God didn't write the Bible. Humans through self-experience, through needs to try and enhance and describe something more than what is taking place here. Created. And through these we created more beliefs, more hopes, more ideas, more possibilities. And this mind develops itself into believing that we can go to Mars and we can go and visit every other planet and we can do so many things. We can create robots and artificial intelligence and cars and phones, and we do it. But it does not enhance that what is pure, that what is here now, that presence, that awareness, that infinite love, that beingness that you are. The head is always the ideological antenna to search out new business ventures, new ways to get travel, new ways to communicate, new ways to do all this. The head is living in a land of nod. Your whole body is buried in the sand and your head is just revolving. Yeah? And your body is not experiencing its ability to dance and be free and and hug and touch and heal itself, because the head is so far out in space. That's what this one can say about this awakening. It's a realization that all that exists is me in this body at this moment. The experience of soul, spirit, consciousness, enlightenment, bliss, Satchitananda, joy, paranoia, pain, all opposing states, are simply fluctuations of the universe creating a magical dance. But the magical dance is created not for you to improve. Oh, I must catch on to that. If the universe says I must do that, I must do that. The universe is dancing. And if you're thinking about doing something other than dancing when the universe is dancing, you're going to miss the whole show. You're going to miss the whole show. The problem is I, the controller, that ego I. I have an idea. I want to pursue it. I don't want to dance. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want. If I don't, I will experience failure. I will experience all these derogatory states that my mind says is not good. Awakening is to be open to that what has no sides. How can heaven have sides? How can paradise have sides? How can anything be bound in this paradisial heavenly love that exists right now? The idea that heaven will come once this body goes is just another noise, another energy, another vibration. The idea that you will move into another body is just another noise, another vibration. There is only one life. You're living them all out at once. That doesn't mean now you have to say, well, I've got so many things to do. Be present. Be here, be now. That's the only advice. And that's the advice that Tolle gives you, Ram Dass gives you, Mooji gives you, Papaji gave you, Ramana Maharshi gave you. But you can't detach from this head that appears to be looking for ways to enhance, improve, change something that is changing on its own. It's unchangeable. The wind cannot change itself. The wind cannot say, I must stop blowing in that direction because that building looks a bit fragile. I'll blow around it. It just blows it over because there's no controller of the wind, there's no controller of the sun, there's no controller of the universe, there's no controller of the birds flying. The only thing in their mind is food and dancing. That's what we are here for, to eat, drink, be merry, within a specific quality. We're not getting absolutely drunk and making a fool of life, of your body, but just being here, observing this unbelievable reality, this unbelievable truth that is born from within. What else to say? I don't know. That's my version of awakening. All awakenings are the same awakening, whether it's awakening to the mind, whether it's awakening to God, whether it's awakening to something soul, spirit, deeper, profound love, whether it's awakening to life, whether life is awakening to itself and we are just part of this. It's a beautiful awakening. And when the end comes for this body, there'll be no hanging on, attaching, hoping, praying that something else will come. Because that will happen on its own. And if through consciousness It's guaranteed to happen. But there's no method, no possible knowledge of how, what, where, when, how it will happen. I hope to meet God in its fullness. And if it means the end, the complete, absolute black end, once this meeting has been seen, I'm okay with that. I'm absolutely okay with that. Because this visitor that travels through the universe, through a body, at some point has to go home. That's how we live. I want to go home.